Hi everybody, Professor Christina here, and today we're going to talk about balancing efficiency and trust through better AI governance. In 2014, Uber had a problem. Its pricing algorithm did exactly what it was designed to do: raise prices when demand spiked, and it kept doing that during hurricanes, blizzards, and states of emergency. Customers were furious, and the New York Attorney General invoked the state's price gouging law. The outcome? An agreement, later adopted as national policy, that caps Uber's pricing during declared states of emergency and donates the company's profits, that is their commissions, on those trips to disaster relief. Notice what happened there. The algorithm never malfunctioned. It optimized flawlessly for the wrong thing, and the guardrail had to be imposed from outside. That's the whole subject of this video: how to govern automated systems so you write your own guardrails instead of having a regulator write them for you. It comes down to 3 questions you should be able to answer about any automated system you run. So today we're going to dig into how to optimize your AI governance. Let's start with question 1. What can this system never do, no matter what the data says? An AI automation makes thousands of customer-facing decisions a day at a pace no human review process can match. So the first layer of governance isn't review at all. It's hard limits designed in before launch. Uber's emergency cap is now exactly that. When a state of emergency is declared, dynamic pricing is automatically limited regardless of what demand patterns suggest. Profit optimization has a boundary it cannot cross, and no one has to be watching in the moment for the boundary to hold. Your equivalents might be price floors and ceilings, frequency caps on outbound messages, categories of customers who are never targeted with certain offers, and consent boundaries under GDPR and similar privacy laws. An automated system must stay inside the purposes customers actually agreed to, even when the data could support inferences they never anticipated. Question 2, how will we know it's working and for whom? Efficiency metrics answer the first half. Open rates, conversions, and revenue per message tell you the automation performs. They tell you nothing about whether it deserves your customers' trust. For that, you track a second set of signals: satisfaction at automated touchpoints, unsubscribe spikes after specific sequences, complaint themes, and, critically, whether outcomes differ across customer groups. Automated systems drift as they adapt to new data, and drift can quietly turn the helpful into the intrusive, or the neutral into the biased. Airbnb's Project Lighthouse shows what serious measurement looks like. Launched in 2020 with the racial justice organization Color of Change, it measures whether guests of different perceived races have different booking success. And it uses anonymized data, never linked to individual accounts, with a published methodology and the ability to opt out. The measurement found a real gap. Guests perceived to be Black booked successfully about 91% of the time versus about 94% for guests perceived to be white. Airbnb used those findings to change how bookings and reviews work on the platform. The uncomfortable number was the point. If Airbnb had only tracked bookings completed and revenue per listing, that disparity would have stayed invisible and unaddressed. You cannot fix an outcome you never measured. And now let's get to question 3. Who can stop it and how fast? Every automated system eventually meets a situation it wasn't built for. So governance requires defined handoffs to humans. Picture a routine scenario. A customer's renewal payment fails because a card expired, and the dunning sequence starts escalating in urgency. Now suppose that customer just lost a job or is dealing with a family emergency. That sequence is functioning perfectly and yet doing damage with every send. Someone in your organization needs the authority and the system access to pause automation for one customer, one segment, or the entire program in minutes rather than after next week's meeting. Escalation rules should specify which situations route to humans, and crisis protocols should specify who holds the pause switch during breaking events, technical failures, or a wave of negative reactions. Alongside that internal control sits an external one, telling customers plainly why an automated message reached them and giving them working levers to change frequency, channel, or opt out entirely. Control you share with customers is control that rarely has to be used in a crisis. Hard limits it cannot cross. Measurement of trust and fairness, not just efficiency. A human who can stop it fast. If you can answer all 3 questions for an automated system, you govern it. If you can't, it's governing you. You just haven't hit the bad week that proves it yet. And governance done well doesn't slow automation. Doesn't slow it down. Like good brakes on a car, it's what lets you drive fast safely. Uber's story makes the alternative concrete. Build your own guardrails on your own terms, or wait for customers and regulators to build them for you.